Good afternoon, friends. We are going to start our induction session for the National Startup Bootcamp 1.0. This is the induction program for the third batch in 2020. Now, may I request Professor Lopamudra Bhattacharya, CEO and Dean, GLA Business School, for her opening keynote address. Madam, please.
Very good afternoon. Thank you, Professor Banerjee. Hello, friends. I hope all of you are in good health and high spirit. A warm welcome to all the participants. India is right now standing at a strategic inflection point. The government has set a target of $5 trillion economy, but the reality is India's GDP before this COVID crisis was estimated at around $2.8 trillion. In the last fiscal, the GDP growth dipped to an 11-year low of 5%. It is estimated that the present COVID situation will bring it down to less than 2%. At this critical moment, country can choose to pull back, retrench, and focus on old world business models, or can choose to move forward, invest in the future, and accelerate entrepreneurship. Prime Minister Modi's clarion call to Atmanirbhar Bharat and recent economic rebooting packages and reforms declared by Honorable Finance Minister give a clear indication that government prefers to follow the new economy model in future. Technology innovation is essential to drive the growth. It is the key to introduction of a new or improved product, process, or method, competitiveness, and employment. Innovation has to be actively encouraged and supported in India as it continues to accelerate around the world. India must have to act now at this current strategic inflection point. It will surely give dividend in future. GLA Business School has taken it as a mission to develop a new model for transformational entrepreneurship in India. The recent economic crisis across the globe and a sharp decline of GDP create the new need for a new model of economic growth. The two different movements of technology entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship should be converged into one promising solution. An increasing number of entrepreneurs are awakening to the possibility of combining scalable tools and methodology of technology entrepreneurship with the world-centric value system of social entrepreneurship. Together, we create a new type of entrepreneurship that could become our primary source of socio-economic value creation. We call this movement as transformational entrepreneurship. Together we take challenge, together we solve, together we grow. These are the motto of GLA Business School for building the pan-India ecosystem for transformational entrepreneurship. Working together is the need of the hour. Economy of scale does matter in markets, especially to compete with the big corporate houses and multinationals. The growth of the startups and MSMEs can only be done through mutual partnership. We have identified different business verticals where the startup and MSMEs across the country can join hands to become complementary or supplementary to each other. Growth in a shorter tenure is the urgent need of present time. The partnership with each other and forming conglomeration can enhance everyone's strength without and fund investment. We consolidated all our innovation entrepreneurship programs into the Shri initiative of GLA Business School. The Self-Reliant India initiative has been taken at this inflection point in alignment with the government policy. Sri means Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. Our initiatives have sole purpose of converting the knowledge into wealth through entrepreneurship and make it sustainable. We are offering different programs for the entrepreneurs and MSMEs also, such as Innovation Studio and Startup Launchpad for early entrepreneurs, Wish for women entrepreneurs, Innovation Fellowship for the students, the Transformational Entrepreneurship Cluster for MSMEs at JLA Business School is an integrated model through partnership where the incubating startups and MSMEs shall get the 4 basic support from us: capital for business, technology through R&D, innovative business models and strategy, and marketing support. That is the main thing. To compete with the large organization and multinationals, the small business must have access to all these 4 basic elements. GLA Business School is the only B school in India which is not only supporting startups but also creating MSMEs in different verticals: healthcare, food and agriculture, primary and secondary, education, transport and road, safety, water, alternative energy, environment, construction, disaster management, etc. It's my privilege to inform the audience that the GLA Business School is providing active support to more than 100 startup entrepreneurs from 16 states across India. We are trying to develop a good national and international network for our startups. In 2020, while everything was stopped in outer world, we are undertaking a number of new projects in various sectors. All the projects have strong commercial potentials and low risk of failure. Each project, on average, will create 10 direct and 20 indirect employment and will contribute nearly 5 million INR to the local economy from the very first year of inception. Thus, 100 MSMEs has potential to create 3,000 employments, both direct and indirect, and can generate annual revenue to the tune of 500 million INR. Our target is to improve the capacity of entrepreneurs and to make 80% immortality rate, which will be highest in the country. Our National Startup Bootcamp 1.0 program is supported by different ministers of central government, such as Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Auto Innovation Mission under Niti Aayog, BIRAC, Department of Biotechnology, Startup India under Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, as well as higher education institutes such as CSIR, CD, FIT India, IIT Delhi, amongst others. My simple suggestion to all the entrepreneurs and MSMEs: no good result is possible through ad hoc activities. All the activities you do for your company should be well planned, scientific, and foolproof. Lots of preparations are required to build all these things. All our innovation and entrepreneurship development efforts are moved towards empowering our startup ventures and MSMEs. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to MSME TDC for their kind support to our endeavor. We have been advocating for PPAP, public-private academia, in partnership for a long time. Now the other stakeholders of this innovation entrepreneurship ecosystem are realizing the necessary for such a cooperation, collaboration, and conglomeration. It is my proud privilege to announce that Ministry of MSME Government of India has sent us a proposal to provide support to upgrade our existing Innovation and Incubation Center into Center of Excellence for Smart Manufacturing in their collaboration. I am happy to announce that CSIR CIRI, the Central Electronic Engineering Research Institute, and GLA Business School has signed MOU to collaborate with each other for innovation through research and development, technology transfer, entrepreneurship development, and all related academic and other activities. My appeal to all of you for coming together and making a bright future for the small business of our country. I thank you all for today's participation. Once again, I welcome you all to this bootcamp batch 3. Now, handing over to Professor Banerjee, Director, JLO Business School, for his address. Thank you, Professor.
Thank you very much for your opening keynote address. Professor Lopamutra Bhattacharya, CEO and Dean, JLO Business School, has set the pitch for the induction session today. Very welcome to this transformational venture. We call it as a transformational entrepreneurship. As Professor Bhattacharya explained, she has touched almost all the major points that I'm going to explain in my presentation. She mentioned that we are going through an economic turmoil and our GDP has been slashed like anything. At this inflection point, we should search for a new model of economic growth. And our model is based on two movements. One movement is towards technology entrepreneurship, and the second movement is towards social entrepreneurship. If we can converge these two, then we can make a solution, promising solution for any problem that we are facing. And thus, combining these two aspects, we can create a world-centric value system for the projects. So we call it transformational entrepreneurship. I would like to refer to this quote of United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. UNCT AD, in a very recent report, showed that the small businesses collectively can bring economic growth in any economy. The concept of sustainable development links three dimensions of sustainability: economic, social, and environmental. The 2030 agenda emphasizes the unity of and mutual support between these three dimensions. UNCT AD has long emphasized the importance of economic structural transformation to poverty eradication and long-term development. This kind of structural transformation refers to the transfer of production factors, particularly land, labor, and capital. These are the traditional factors from the activities and sectors with low productivity and high value added to those with the higher productivity and high value added. Thus, we can create a process which will allow the economy to continually generate the new dynamic activities characteristics by higher productivity and greater efficiency. Such kind of transformational entrepreneurship can make an important contribution to this structural transformation. Firstly, it is important mechanism for shifting production resources from the economic activities with low value added productivity to a high value added productivity. whether in agriculture, industry or services, in any sector. Secondly, it can stimulate the investment and contribute to build a knowledge-driven economy, which plays a central role in any economic development nowadays. Thirdly, even for any unviable innovation, goods or service or production technologies, or any failure, this failure sets an example, a case study for the future success. So this is a process of learning, and all of us are going through this process of learning with a single objective: to contribute to our society, to contribute to our economy and wealth creation for everyone. Let us say a few words about GLA Business School. It is an autonomous postgraduate institution under West Bengal State University. We are the recipient of several national awards, including prestigious ASSOCHAM Best School Awards for 3 consecutive years, and also several national level awards, including the Best School 2020 and Top 10 Business Analytics Institutions in India 2018, awarded by Higher Education Review, Bangalore. And we are also a member institute of IIT Delhi for innovation and entrepreneurship programs. With this brief background of GLA Business School, I would like to explain the activities we have started and where we want to invite you to become a partner to our all the endeavors. Now, by this concept of management institution, it comes in your mind that we are into management learning only, the management studies only. Yes, definitely that is our core activities. But we have diversified a lot. We took backward integration strategy as well as forward integration strategy. In the backward integration strategy, we have created a strong R&D backbone for technology innovation. On the other hand, as our forward integration strategy, we are creating industry. We are the first B school in India who have integrated both backward, also forward. We have a strong R&D facility, as well as we are creating MSMEs, and we are providing production and marketing support to all of them. Based on this backward and forward integration, we have created some good collaboration with top-notch institutions in India. For the research and development and also for the technology transfer, we are associated with IIT Delhi, Federation for Innovation and Technology Transfer. FIT is a division of IIT Delhi. Also, as Professor Bhattacharya has mentioned, that we very recently, CD is a CSIR research lab. It's the Government of India research lab. They have collaborated with us for entrepreneurship development, for research and other academic activities. We are focusing on the cutting edge technology like 3D printing, AI and robotics, IoT, smart sensors, biomedical and bioengineering, and also the data science. These are the focus technology areas. As Professor Bhattacharya mentioned, that in collaboration with MSME Technology Management Center, under the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, Government of India, we are upgrading our incubation center as Center of Excellence for Smart Manufacturing, where the segments, the technologies and the segments where we are focusing are the advanced 3D printing facilities, Industry 4.0, robotics and automation, virtual welding simulator facilities, CNC lab, desktop foundry lab, and casting simulation, solar lab, etc. Now coming to the innovation and entrepreneurship programs that GLA Business School is offering. We are offering this innovation and entrepreneurship program in different business verticals like healthcare, food and agriculture. Agriculture covers both primary and secondary agriculture, also in education, transport and road safety, water, alternative energy, environment, disaster management, and construction. The programs are, we have 4 programs. One is WISH program. WISH is Women Innovation and Startup Hub. The WISH program aims at broader improvements in quality of life and also to bolster the fiscal sustainability of the startups initiated by the women entrepreneurs. The Startup Launchpad aims at fostering entrepreneurship through development of startup ecosystem, which is conducive to the economic growth across India in any thrust areas and the business verticals. Innovation Studio aims at fostering the continuous innovation through disruptive technology and disruptive business strategy. This is the conference, annual conference, national level conference that we conduct to promote innovation and entrepreneurship, and a startup summit that aims to build a common platform of the innovators and the startup entrepreneurs and to make a global network for all of them. All of our initiatives are supported by most of the major government, central government ministries like Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, BIRAC under DBT, Ministry of MSME, Niti Aayog, and all the other initiatives of central government to promote the startups. As I mentioned that we have incubation programs, ISSLP and WISH at the Innovation Incubation Program, and most of you have applied through this ISSLP program. It aims at building the self-reliant ecosystem for the startups and MSMEs to achieve the vision of our Nation Ahead program. This Nation Ahead program aims to build a robust ecosystem, placing academia at the center point of all the innovation and startup to accelerate the regional economic growth through collaborations between us. I would like to mention about this WISH program because we are nurturing a number of startup firms initiated by the very talented women entrepreneurs. WISH is focused to create startups to build scalable businesses, utilizing technology for innovative solutions to the local problems. WISH will establish itself by bringing in talented women founders and encouraging all of them to build a startup and launching those startups successfully and promoting it as MSME. It focuses on helping the women entrepreneurs to convert nascent ideas into a strong business propositions. So that is the basic objective of WISH program. We also have innovation fellowship for the students. This is a unique fellowship program. We believe that it's not technology, it's people that drive the business. So we depend on the human intelligence rather than the artificial intelligence. This technology, artificial intelligence, everything human being use as a tool. So we focus on people to inculcate innovation. Under the Nation Ahead program, we have Innovation Fellowship program. Under this Innovation Fellowship program, we nurture the students for 5 years and 2 years. The students who are joining at our undergraduate integrated BBA MBA course, we nurture them for 5 years to create their own industry. And to the MBA program, we get only 2 years to nurture their to create their own startups using our infrastructure, using our intellectual properties as their incubation center, as their launch pad. So this is the learning and incubating business model for the students. The incubation facilities that we are providing, and we are, as I explained, that we are upgrading our incubation center to the center of excellence for smart manufacturing, not only to help the our own students or the entrepreneurs, but also to help the local industry in and around eastern part of our country, and also to extend our support to the northeast, entire northeast. And in this incubation facilities, we have 6 kinds of facilities that we intend to offer to all of our entrepreneurs who want to work with us. One is the continuous R&D research, and through the Research and Innovation Center. The aim of the Research and Innovation Center is to improve the competitiveness through disruptive technology. Focus areas are improvement of product, process, quality, and design. But as I told you that disruptive technology, industry use as a tool. The main thing is people, and people introduce disruptive strategy. So we have our management development center, and the support provided to the entrepreneurs to improve their competitiveness through disruptive strategy. So on one hand, through R&D, we are creating their improvement. We are ensuring their improvement and the competitiveness through the disruptive technology. On the other hand, we are trying to improve their competitiveness through disruptive strategy. So these are the 2 dimensions, and the focus area is cost competitiveness, customer value proposition, business model, developing the managerial skills, improving the functional efficacy, everything. So that is the role of the management development center at our incubation center. The third aspect is business finance center. You have great ideas, you have made a lot of paperwork, documentation, everything. You incorporated your company, but you don't have fund. So fund is the key to start your vehicle. So the business finance center aims at project financing, financial planning, making the strategy, And the focus areas are arranging capital, managing funds, preparing the business plans, financial models, and the analysis. These are one part, and the other part, we are focusing on market research and brand management. So whatever the idea you have, you should prove your idea in the marketplace. So you should have a strong go-to-market strategy. And gradually you have to create a brand. It's not important what idea you have. It's not important what quality you produce. Because if you introduce good technology, then you can produce good quality. But whether the price, the packaging, and the product as a whole is acceptable to the industry and acceptable to the end users, that is the most important thing nowadays. So there may be a good idea in your mind, in your brain, but the acceptability of that idea through your product in the marketplace is most important thing, and for which market research plays an important, very important role. So this market research and brand management, we pay for the brand. We don't pay for the product. We pay for the brand. And the concept of marketing is changing. The concept of marketing is changing from product to value. Your customers will pay for the value, not for the product. So what value we are creating and what unique value proposition you are creating, that is important. That is very, very important. If we have a very strong value, product value, customer value, then not only the local market, we can explore the entire domestic market. India is a vast country with huge capacity to consume the local production. So also this kind of captive consumption of the domestic market we should explore. And if we have a strong value proposition, we can also sell our product to the international market. Government has given so much of emphasis to encourage the entrepreneurs, not only to make the export substitution, but also to import their goods in foreign countries. So these are the 5 different segments, focus of our incubation facilities. And the 6th one is the common facility center. The common facility center will provide the physical infrastructure that an entrepreneur can easily use at a very reasonable cost. And we're trying to develop, as Professor Bhattacharya explained, that we are amongst the very few institutions in India who speak about public-private academia partnership. Public-private partnership is a very common word in industry, but private-public academia partnership (PPAP) is very few examples are there in India. So based on these incubation centers, we are creating our plans for our future entrepreneurs. But before going into that, what we are doing, as Professor Bhattacharya in her opening keynote address explained, that we are integrating all the initiatives with the government strategy, government policy. After this corona incidents and this lockdown, Prime Minister Modi has announced Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan.
And government has set 5 pillars of self-reliant India. One is the economy, second is infrastructure, third is system, technology-driven system, taking the advantage of demography and demand creation. So these are the 5 pillars government has identified. And I would like to mention the quotation that our honorable Vice President has mentioned, that India's call for self-reliant economy was not for protectionism or isolationism, but for adopting a pragmatic development strategy that would enable the country to recognize and capitalize on its inherent strengths. So that strength is, that intrinsic value exists in our economy, exists in our society, exists in our framework. We have to explore that. We have everything. We have plenty of knowledge, we have plenty of talents, but we have to create a real value out of the talent through a pragmatic development strategy that can contribute to our national economy. Based on the government policy, we consolidated all our initiatives into one self-reliant India initiative, SRI3. As Professor Lopamudra Bhattacharya mentioned, that in Sanskrit word, Sri is a Sanskrit word, Sri means Lakshmi. And our objective is also to convert knowledge into wealth. We have knowledge base, huge knowledge base we have, but now it's time to convert our knowledge into wealth. And if we can create wealth, that wealth will create a new economy. A new economy will create a new society, and many of our problems can be solved through these initiatives. This is the entire structure of our consolidated policy, consolidated initiative under SRI3 initiative. And we are trying to develop an integrated model to build a transformational startup cluster through cooperation, collaboration, and conglomeration. The time has shown us how we cannot live in isolation. We cannot grow in isolation. We have to come closer. All the talented people have to come closer to make something big. All the institutions should come closer to create something big. So that is our objective. And in this structure, we are integrating academic institutions, ecosystem partners, Chamber of Commerce, media under one platform for creating the technology innovation, for business innovation, project financing, for the market orientation. These are the basic need of any entrepreneur, any startup firm at the very initial stage. So this is the integrated model that after this government announcement, and in recent within a few in last few months, we have created this model, and we are working on this. We are under this process of cooperation, collaboration, and conglomeration. We are trying to make a big platform for our entrepreneurs so that they also get the advantage out of it, and they can also grow in a shorter time. Because if you put your own resources, the development time will be very high. If you take the advantage of cooperation, collaboration, and conglomeration, these 3C, your development time, your growth time, you can minimize this. So that is our framework, and based on that framework, we set our key objectives and process. There are 3 levels, as I have already communicated to you, and many of you have some questions. I'm going to address to that question after I explain this structure. There are 3 levels. The first level is bootcamp level. In this bootcamp, we offer you some master classes and entrepreneurship courses, and we provide you some toolkits to develop your strategy, the risk mitigation plans, the risk management, because in most of the cases, we deal with techno-commercial feasibility. But most of the techno-commercial feasibility reports, you find them silent about risk mitigation plan, risk management plan. You go to the US environment of developing startups, you will see that in not only in US, in almost all developed Western countries, the first job that they do is risk management, assessing the risk, business impact analysis. But in our system, this is grossly missing. So that is our one of the focus areas. And in the cohort, in the next level, we focus on company incorporation and project finance. And after that, the third level is incubation, where the focus is project management and project acceleration. At this level of level 1 and level 2, we do not charge anything from any of our participants. This is our third batch in this year, in last few months. Maybe in last 4 months, we created 3 batches. And we are actively nurturing more than 100 startups across the India, from 16-17 different states, almost all parts of the country. Every day we are receiving applications, and many of the projects are excellent projects, but we are facing grossly something is missing in their documentation. That is the value proposition of the business, and the second thing that is missing is risk management plan for their business. And these two are very important to make the success. In our country, the success of startup firms is something around 20-25%. It's not more than that. But through our process, we want to ensure that the failure should not be more than 20%. And 80% of the startups should survive in due course. So we are taking a holistic approach, which is grossly missing in our system. I am associated with many renowned high-end institutions in India who are doing excellent in entrepreneurship development, but mostly the entrepreneurship development is focused on technology and problem solving, local problem solving. But we have to create a strong business proposition. Unless we create that strong business proposition, all our efforts that we put will not give any success in long run. Somebody has asked me today in the WhatsApp group that, sir, I have completed bootcamp level, cohort level, then should I go through it again? My point is, since you have done so many of things, wasting 1 month time is not actually wasting. You stay with us, you follow the instructions. Most of the classes are available in the YouTube. You go through it and you apply for the financing. Without finance, you cannot run the show, you cannot start your business. So if you are ready with everything, then we are happy to help you to get the finance. So if you have done if you have already gone through such processes, then please share your project report with us and let us try for the finance. For level 1 and level 2, we don't charge anything from any of our participants. Once you are starting your business, once you are getting your finance from any agency and you are incubated with us, then only the charges as per the standard norm will be applicable. I believe I explained to the question which I have seen in the WhatsApp group today. Next important is what kind of services we provide. The services and facilities that we provide are of two types. One is infrastructural, physical, and other is intellectual. We have the option to become the membership at a very reasonable fees, annual fees, very reasonable. And the individual member can also be the part of this to get our support, to get our advices on a regular basis, to become a part of this. Second service that I should mention is education, continuing professional development and training. When you develop a product, then it is presumed that you have the knowledge of developing the product. Maybe that you have learned from your study in engineering or in science. But that doesn't mean you will be successful with that product concept in the marketplace, because it is also a specialized knowledge. Doing business is a specialized knowledge. So we have 2 years MBA program for the startup entrepreneurs, 5 years integrated BBA MBA program for the startup entrepreneurs, and during this tenure of their study, they can use our intellectual as well as physical infrastructure as a platform to create and grow their startup firms. We also offer the infrastructural facilities as like shared office and address support, meeting training facilities for your staffs, R&D facilities, common production facilities, common marketing facilities. So these are the basic need of any startup and MSMEs. We also have consulting and advisory services in a range of areas, starting from the business clinic. Business clinic is a very unique concept where the mentors will give the consulting, short-term consulting. Suppose you want a particular advice consultation from an expert, you can meet him, maybe in person or nowadays virtual mode, to get his opinion. So this is business clinic, as we do in case of the medical clinics. The legal IP consultation, business mentoring, business monitoring. Monitoring is a continuous process of appraisal of the projects, secondary researches, to conceptualize to validate the idea, your idea, capital expenditure, operating expenditure budget, and projected financial statements, financial appraisal of project, business strategy, business model and the value proposition, business impact analysis, risk profiling of the business and the mitigation plan, go-to-market strategy, market research, promotional strategy. These are the range of consulting services that our entrepreneurs will be incubated with us, will be associated with us, will receive. And also, this is very important to announce, we are trying to develop a common e-commerce platform for the startups. In any growing economy, you will find, take the example of China, you see the contribution of Alibaba in promoting the local manufacturers to a global marketplace. So that kind of robust common e-commerce portal, we are in the process of developing that portal for the startups, where our management experts and the marketing experts will promote your brand not only in the domestic market but also in the foreign market. And apart from that, apart from the promotional activities, you will also be connected with us for the other services through this same portal. Now, the most important discussion is about the funding schemes for startups and MSMEs. Here, the funding schemes of startups and MSMEs we can divide in two categories. One is the loan for the MSMEs under different government schemes, and also for grants to be available in some particular areas. We are working with, our bank is SBI, the neutral bank of for this initiative is State Bank of India. This project is supported by State Bank of India, and we can arrange loan for our startups and MSME founders. And as you know, that as per the government policy, the Mudra scheme, under the Mudra scheme, the loans are available from 50,000 to 10 lakhs, up to 10 lakhs. And as per the RBI guidelines, no bank can take any collateral security for loan up to 10 lakhs. Second scheme is Stand Up India scheme. Under the scheme, the entrepreneur can get up to 1 crore loan, and this is reserved for SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. If it is a private limited company, at least 51% shareholding should be in the hand of SC, ST or women entrepreneur. So if the founder of the startup is not falling under this category, you try to get any woman entrepreneur with you or any SC partner with you and offer him or her 51% of the stakeholding pattern so that you can avail that loan. Apart from that, there are MSME loan up to 2 CR. So these are some very basic funding schemes for the startups and MSMEs which you can avail to start your business. Also, there are some incubation grants from MSME 15 lakhs up to 15 lakhs per project is available. From BIRAC 50 lakhs for the project from ideation to prototype and up to 2 CR from prototype to commercialization is available. Seed fund support is there from under different state government schemes. You please refer to the Startup India portal for the details of such state government schemes. Different state governments have different schemes. You go through that portal, Startup India portal, for the details of seed fund support from the state governments under state government schemes. As Lopamutra madam told you that the motto of GLF Business School is to take the challenge, solve the problems and to grow collectively. So it's my appeal to all of my participants that let us together take the challenge. Let us together solve the problems we face. Let us together grow and contribute to our society, to our nation, to our economy. If we grow, if you grow, then nation will grow, your economy will grow, and your society will grow. The society will be in a sustainable position to solve many problems. So this is my appeal to all of my participants. Today, due to shortage of time, we are unable to take any question and answer session. I am very much sure that many of you have many queries. Please do write to us in the group. I will try to give your answers as per my convenience. And very shortly, we'll be sharing with you our next course of plan for bootcamp and cohort. We are actually our first batch and second batch is almost on the verge of closure, and we are going to level 3. So maybe we may crash your time for level 1 and level 2, and we combine these 3 batches, batch 1, batch 2 and batch 3, to incorporate to club these 3 batches into one batch for the next level of activities. We started this batch generally in our last 2 batches. The number of participants were more than 40 in each batch. In first batch, it was around 46, 47. In the next batch also it was the similar number. But in this batch, the applications received so far after the batch 2, we decided not to keep you waiting for another few months. We decided to start batch 3 so that we can also include you in the current process of developing the MSMEs. And many of the startup entrepreneurs are actively associated with us to develop their project ideas, to develop their business plans, to develop their financial models, and to apply for grants from different government under different government schemes, and also preparing project report to apply for loans under MSME schemes. Thank you very much, all of my friends, all of the participants, for your patience and to join with us.